This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
It's the internet. You need to protect yourself.
A reminder about hackers after a woman tries to sue a sex toy company. Good evening and thank you for joining us. A woman in Illinois says she bought a sex toy and didn't realize the device collects personal information. The company WeVibe makes smart sex toys that allow you to connect them with an app to your smartphone. The device uses Bluetooth, and recently experts proved that it can be hacked. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Nicole Johnson explains.
In a place that's considered taboo, with products people don't really talk about, there's a new trend you probably haven't heard about.
The Classic, the 4 Plus, the Rave, and the Nova.
Smart sex toys. There's a number of companies that make them, and different kinds. This one, WeVibe, has a free app that allows you to connect your device and use your phone to control it.
You can change intensities.
Recently, a woman who was using WeVibe found out it could be hacked and is trying to sue the company, saying her personal information that they tracked could be exposed.
It's the internet. You need to protect yourself.
The company released a statement saying they are concerned about privacy, but say you don't need to put any personal information into the app, not even a name.
The only thing they're really tracking right now is they're tracking the temperature of the toy to make sure that the motors are working right, it's not running too hot, and they're tracking which different vibrations people are using so that they know, okay, this is one that someone likes, so let's come up with something like that that's even better.
Kim Patterson, owner of Enchantises, says it's a reach that a hacker would want that kind of information. She says people need to educate themselves more about technology and about sex in general.
The public schools have done a really bad job on educating us.
If you're purchasing one of these or any other device, do your research first. Nicole Johnson, Valley News Live.
Patterson says the first priority of Enchantises is sexual health and education. There are other types of smart sex toys that sell and are used more for exercise and women's health. Well, the Valley sure did get hit with rain today. Now take a look at this. This was a scene tonight off 17th Avenue. And as you can see, the water was as high as some of the car's bumpers. Robert, you were following this all day and all this afternoon. Really crazy flooding came out of this.
Yeah, that video coming from our very own Ashley Bishop, and that on 17th Avenue between 32nd Street and 34th Street. So, yeah, we did get a lot of rain all at once, and that has since moved on away. Still have some wet pavement out there. We have some sprinkles still falling from time to time here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Taking a live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, looking down on a University. And, yeah, we've got some wet roadways out there, and they'll take their time to dry on out. The atmosphere rather moist out there. Current temperature is 60 degrees, winds out of the west at 6 miles per hour. As we head through the overnight hours with lots of moisture around, we could see some patchy dense fog developing over parts of the region. Temperatures, a mix of some 50s and some low 60s across the region. Winds remain rather light, and they'll stay that way as we head through the overnight hours. And we could see a few stronger gusts in and around any lingering showers. Quite a bit of cloud cover out there, especially across the northern valley and the eastern valley as this low continues to slowly spin its way off towards the east-northeast away from us. Underneath those clouds, we do have some rain, but the overall trend has been for the rain to diminish as we go through time, and that will continue to slowly do so as we head through the overnight hours tonight. By tomorrow morning, maybe a few lingering sprinkles in our far eastern counties, but even there, we'll see temperature or precipitation move on out. Some big-time thunderstorms off towards the east of that low over parts of southern Ontario and over into east central portions of Minnesota. Across the national map, severe thunderstorm watch continues over parts of West Texas. Severe thunderstorm warning in the northwestern parts of that watch, and some severe weather also ongoing in parts of Missouri and Arkansas, as is some flash flooding into those areas. For us, as we head through the overnight hours tonight, again, diminishing chances for those showers, those decreasing clouds as well, and we'll have that risk again for some patchy dense fog, especially along and east of the Red River as we head towards tomorrow morning. As we head through tomorrow afternoon, watch the clearing line work its way quickly off towards the east. Everyone will enjoy at least some sunshine as we head through tomorrow afternoon. A mild day with highs in the 60s and 70s. Northwesterly winds early in the day become southerly later on in the afternoon and evening. Here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, we're going to start off the day with a little bit of fog around possible, and temperature right around 50 degrees by lunchtime, though. Lots of sunshine. warming on up into the mid-60s, and later on the day, topping it on out into the lower 70s. A beautiful afternoon for the Fargo-Moorhead area and for much of the region, for that matter. Take a look at this picture of the day, a Moorhead sunset. Thanks for Naomi for sending that in. Going to use that as the background of our 7-day forecast. And the weekend, it's looking great. Low 70s tomorrow, 80 on a Sunday, mid-70s Monday and Tuesday, and then back to more fallish weather Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And each of those days, a chance for some showers and storms.
This truly really could be our last summer weekend.
Maybe. I'm holding out hope we have at least one more.
Okay, I'll take you up on that.
Okay.
Thanks, Robert. A body was found early this morning at the Hoot and Holler restaurant in Otter Tail, Minnesota. The Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office says that Joseph Brennan died of natural causes. Chris Scander, the manager at the Hoot and Holler restaurant in Otter Tail, Minnesota, tells Valley News Live that Brennan was a well-known customer of that restaurant. A rural Holly farm barn is in ruins tonight after a fire that blazed this afternoon and into the evening. Holly, Hitterdale, and Ulen and Glendon, those departments worked for hours to gain control of fire engulfing 3 barn buildings on the 210th Street North property, just northbound from 90th Avenue North, which was blocked after making way for each of the station's tankers that brought water in for that rescue.
We're thinking it started in probably the hay storage area between the wall of that and the shop is where we're thinking. That's where it looks like it's burnt out the worst.
Coming up on Valley News Live 10 at 10, hear from the farm owner on how this fire was different than the one they had back in 2013 and find out about the struggles the fire crews had to face. How trained are your children's daycare providers? A conference this weekend aims to help get you informed. Part of it has to do with the tragic death of 6-month-old Owen Skoji back in June of 2015. A local daycare was so moved they held a lemonade stand for the last 2 summers. And this year, some of the money is going towards this event. Addison's law passed during the last North Dakota session, and it requires all daycare providers to have SIDS training.
Sudden infant death syndrome is very scary, but as a daycare provider, you're taking on the responsibility of someone else's child in your home or in your center.
While Skoji's death was ruled a homicide, his organs were donated to those in need. Today, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers issued a special use permit to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe to use federal lands managed by the Corps near Lake Oahe. Reports say the tribe's special use permit application requested use of lands to the north and south of the mouth of the Cannonball River. But because the northern property is subject to an existing grazing lease, this portion of the application is not being acted on at this time. The purpose for requesting the permit is to provide applicants temporary use of federal lands for lawful purposes. Now, this permit requires that the Standing Rock Sioux tribe work with its supporters to ensure that the land is restored to its previous state so that others may benefit from it in the future use. Today, police are continuing to hunt for a suspect who made a threat that closed Holy Family Church and School in Grand Forks. The doors of the school and church remain locked today. That was following a threat to the facility yesterday. Police are running extra patrols around the area night and day. Police won't comment on whether the threat was delivered by a phone call or note. However, police say detectives now have some leads in that case that they're still running down. Still, they'd like the public's help.
I would appreciate if any citizens or community members do have information, if they know of someone who maybe is upset with the facility or has been speaking quite negatively. We'd certainly appreciate them to contact us and let us know.
A funeral was held as planned at the church this afternoon, and they'll hold regular masses as scheduled tomorrow and Sunday. The school will reopen on Monday. The Fargo Police Department is asking for your help in identifying someone possibly involved in a theft case. Take a look at this picture. Police are trying to identify what company this truck belongs to. And they say the driver is a person of interest in an active theft case. The truck appears to be white with maroon on the lower section, has a grill guard, and possibly a computer or electronic device on the dash. So if you have any information at all, you are asked to call that number on your screen. You can find it at 701-241-1405. Here's a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. 38-year-old David Cruz is wanted for theft of property, preventing arrest, and driving under suspension. Call your local law enforcement if you have any information on Cruz. 54 new houses in the FM area are open to the public this upcoming weekend for the 17th annual Parade of Homes. Parade goers can look at the new designs or get ideas for decorating their homes. New on the route this time is a house aimed at first-time home buyers. The builder of this home says it runs $225,000. They say there's a demand from buyers wanting homes under the $250,000 price tag. The Home Builders Association says regulations, special assessments, and land prices add quite a bit to the price of building new. But there is another option.
There's a huge section of the population in Fargo-Moorhead that love where they live, and they don't want to move and they don't want to build a new house because of things like maybe mature trees or the neighborhood they live in and the people they live around, so they choose to remodel.
The remodeled home tour is next weekend. Parade goers can see 4 different homes, some fully remodeled or some with remodeled kitchens and bathrooms. Many of the homes on the parade route are free, and to get your tickets, just click on this story at valleynewslive.com. The Red River Regional Dispatch Center is gearing up to start taking your 911 text messages. Next Generation 911 is up and running, but final testing still needs to be done. It's expected to go live in October, and experts say this technology will be especially helpful in domestic violence situations where people may not be able to make it to a phone to call for help. The recent end for summer DWI saturation across Minnesota makes it pretty clear people still aren't getting the message about the cost of drinking and driving. Between August 19th and September 5th, troopers, sheriff's deputies, and police officers made 1,351 arrests for DWI. To see the highest alcohol concentration levels that were recorded, just go over to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. Around 30 people volunteered their time to help fix up the new Legacy Children's Foundation house. The house is going to help children in the area with a goal to get them to graduate from high school. Employees with innovative basement systems did the hard work, waterproofing and fixing the foundation of the home to make sure it's watertight.
They wanted to do this. I thought we'd get 5 to 10 people. My goodness, they all pitched in. They wanted to come here and help out.
Bus full. There's a bus full of people.
Great.
Yeah.
All that donated basement work in the Legacy Children's Foundation house is worth $40,000. The Interstate 35W bridge in Minneapolis will glow blue for 11 days to honor and remember Jacob Wetterling. Governor Mark Dayton directed the Minnesota Department of Transportation to start lighting the bridge. The bridge is lit blue to represent child abuse prevention. Wetterling was 11 years old when he was abducted and killed in 1989. His body was found earlier this month after the man who killed him told police where he hid his remains. Still ahead tonight, we uncover a hidden treasure found at the bottom of Lake Superior. Stay with us.